Welcome back. So, I thought we'd catch up on the Schoolhouse today. And as you can see, we've got the painting underway. So, we're going to take a look at the Schoolhouse. I'm going to take you around, show you what's been done, and we're going to do an unboxing because I got more goodies from Colleen. So, when we come back, I thought you might enjoy an update on the Schoolhouse now that I have something worthwhile to share with you. As you can see, the painting is underway. This is just the primer coat, but still gives you an idea of where we're going from here. Now we're going to walk around to the side. And here again, this trim here, the fascia, the soffit, this is all new. That had to be put in after the roof collapsed. And over here, right here, is the remains of the old chimney. That was taken down when the tree took down the roof and a quarter of the back wall, etc. That's not going to stay. It's there for the moment, but it won't be staying. This very large mess right here is actually a rose bush, and I had it trained up the chimney, but of course the chimney is going. The rose bush is just sitting there. And that's a job for another day. So let's go around the back. Oh, and in the meantime, you do get a chance to see how the yard has come along after the major landscaping work. Well, up here, as you can see, this gable, which had originally all been bricked in, was redone in wood. That was necessary because the portion, and you can see here in the corner, of the wall that was rebuilt with the original bricks. That was very important to me. And of course, we were not going to save all of the bricks. So, had to make some compromises, and that was a compromise. And as you can tell, the priming is underway on that. So, not done, but still. And this is the east side of the Schoolhouse. The shutters are down. Now, of course, the Schoolhouse has working shutters, but they are being sanded and primed and prepped and whatever inside the building. But we're well underway. Well, I have a couple of boxes, and once again, I've decided to open them on the bed. And the reason for this is, well, the last time I did it in the other room, I found Audie sleeping in a box of china, which was not only uncomfortable, but I'm sure it was dangerous too. So, I think I'm just going to have to give in and accept the fact that the cat's going to be involved in this one way or another and try to make it at least safe and comfortable for him. So I'm going to start off with this box, and I will get back to you when I've got it open. Alrighty, as you can see, we have a whole bunch of littles here. So let me start with this. This is a salt or pepper shaker. You can see the little holes, and we have a plastic stopper in the bottom. So it's not incredibly old. It is, however, very interesting looking, and I expect that would make a great topper for a Tidbit tray or even a lamp finial. So I have a feeling that we're going to put a little bit of lamp hardware in the bottom of this so that this can be screwed on to a lamp. This is unmarked. It is just a very pretty sort of buttery yellow vase. Really interesting. No mark. I have nothing to say about it. I do not know what it is or where it came from. Just a very pretty little vase. Now this piece here, also unmarked, is probably Japanese. There are a lot of pieces like this around. This is not very old. It's vintage, but not antique. It's a sweet little piece. Here, let me show you that without the glare from the light. Very interesting, and it's a very typical Japanese design. This one is Chinese. Modern piece, very similar to this piece, so who knows, that one may be Chinese too. Usually pieces like this came from Japan, but as you can see, modern markings and the Chinese ceramists are starting to do pieces like this for export now too. Let's see, the cat. This mark is probably Japanese, hard to say. I'd have to look it up. And what we have here is a fat lucky cat. Now these fat lucky cats, this is a Chinese design. These are very popular. They are good luck. It's just a little figurine, nice little piece. This is the sort of thing that somebody would just pick up simply because they wanted it. But it's a pretty little piece. Now, let's go over to this. Satsuma vase. These were relatively inexpensive pieces. They were made around the mid-century. Let me show you. You can usually tell from that mark. And they were very popular import pieces. I'll show you the back. Usually the back was relatively plain. The money, so to speak, was all on the front. And these are still available today. I've been able to pick up a number of them recently. I like them. They sell well. These are not top of the line Satsuma pieces by any means. They're very nice, very interesting. And this is a little Chinese scholar, but it's a Japan piece. And if you look at the back and look at the little box he's carrying, he is an incense burner. You would put a bit of cone incense in the back here, light it on fire, and the smoke would escape through these holes. Very nice little piece. Pieces like this sell. They sell well, they sell quickly. People still use incense. And to get vintage incense burners, well, it's quite a thing for people when in fact they're going to use incense regardless. Now this piece, let me get this around so you can see the design. This is a relatively modern Chinese piece. Beautiful lusterware finish. If you can see the way the light is reflecting on it, it's that oil slick that I often talk about. It's a white lusterware finish, but when you look at it on an angle, it's like looking into a puddle of oil. all the colors of the rainbow reflecting. Interesting little piece. And let's take a look at this. This is a Japan piece. This is just an adorable little teeny tiny creamer. I would say that would be cream for 1 cup of coffee. And I'm not sure anybody would actually use it for cream. I think it's probably more of a decorative piece. Lovely bird. Pieces like that are just too cute. Very tiny. Well, you can see from how it fits in my hand. Very tiny piece. Now, let's take a look at this. This is a Japan set. Creamer and sugar. Here's our creamer. Now again, look at the size in my hand. And here is our covered sugar bowl, matching. Very, very nice pieces. These are old, possibly antique, definitely vintage. I would have to actually check on the mark to see how old they are. My best guess is we're looking at over 80 years. Now, this is also a Japan piece, a creamer. And this is a sort of Satsuma, kind of, sort of. This is, this was made for the export market. This is not fine china. They are just wonderful, interesting little pieces. Very much like geisha ware, only they are, in fact, much, much higher quality than most geisha ware. Very nice little piece. Actually, I'm going to say that's Kutani and not really Satsuma. And here we go. A dog ashtray, Japan. Mid-century. In the mid-century, it's important to remember that in the mid-century, half the American households were smoking households. Pieces like this were popular and they sold. They still sell today. People like dogs. Some people still smoke, and the fact is you can use an ashtray for all kinds of things. I keep ashtrays in the bathroom to hold everything from Q-tips to cosmetics. They are just, well, I think of them as trinket dishes with these wonderful little divots that will hold a Q-tip, a makeup brush, whatever, very nicely. Now this is unmarked. This is probably European. Now pieces like this, and this is probably quite old, the Europeans did not put lids on their sugar bowls. We do in America. They did in England, and I expect that's because England, being an island, probably had a more damp climate, and it would be necessary to cover and protect the sugar. But on the continent, no. French sugar bowls, German sugar bowls, Austrian, Swiss, they were in general uncovered pieces. And pieces like this just make really great little trinket trays or bowls. Perfect for storing whatever you might want to store. Now, this is a Japan cup, relatively modern. You can tell from the marking. Black, lots of gilding. And it's just a very, very decorative little cup. Very interesting looking. And that handle, let me get this over here so you can see that handle. And last but not least, we have a little bone plate. This is English china, and a very, very pretty little design. So, that's what we have in this box, and now I'm going to get on to its friend. Well, we have dishware in the second box. So, let's start with this. We have 3 really nice Noritake plates. They're all the same. These are about salad plate, maybe bread and butter plate size. Beautiful hand-painted designs. Remind me very much of the blank china that young girls and housewives and whatever, amateur artists, let's just put it that way, would get and then paint up on their own. Very, very pretty pieces. And then these 2, we have little fruit bowls and matching saucers, which of course will make for great tidbit trays. Very nice little pieces. Again, Japan. And over here, more Japanese china. Bread and butter plates here and larger soup bowls. Again, matched Japan. Going to be very nice for tidbit trays. These actually have rather a holiday look. Let me just get that in so you can see. It's just an ordinary design, but because of the red and green, it does rather have a holiday look to them. Anyway, so that's what we have. We will be back in a minute and I'll show you what I think the hot pieces from these 2 boxes were. Okay, I think that the really interesting pieces were our little Japan incense burner. Because again, incense burners sell well. And these little mid-century Japan figurines, and I don't know why, these Chinese people came to us from Japan, but they did. It was a very common image for the Japanese ceramics factories. So between the fact that it's a hot image and incense burners sell, I would say, oh yeah, definitely a find. The Satsuma vase, I never have any trouble selling Satsuma vases like this. They're small, they are interesting, the colors are bright, and people like them. This is a good quality piece. It's not a top-of-the-line piece, but for mid-century Satsuma imports, it's nice. It's very well done. So, again, good piece. And, of course, the ashtray. Mid-century ashtrays, there's always a market for them, and there is always a market for little doggy ashtrays. People see them and say, oh, that looks just like my Rover or my Fido, or, you know, in my case, looks like my Audie the cat, and they do sell easily. Well, that's what I have for you today, and I thought I would finish off by showing you the yard so you can see what's happened with the landscaping. I'm sure you can tell my hedges need to be trimmed. However, I do have that started. So, yes, it looks scruffy today, but by tomorrow at this time, it's going to look fine. All right. So, we're going to take a look at a slideshow on the way out. Have a terrific day. I will see you all next time. My, wasn't that pleasant? So, please note, my little daylilies over here and my little blind lady in residence sign match. Isn't that clever? All right, catch you next time.